I like to cuss. And if you watch any of my videos, you know that I say certain words. I'll say shit, I'll say ass, I'll say damn. Now, I've never called a woman out of her name, but I do like to cuss quite a bit. I just sometimes turn into my inner Samuel L. Jackson. I just let that Emma Alpha just roll, because sometimes words need to just, things are, got me tongue-tied. Because some things sound so much better with it. It just perfectly punctuates some things. Now, I don't really say be-a much. It always pops up in music. But sometimes that F word and the MF word, when you get your whole Samuel L. Jackson on, it just sounds right. Now, that's different than cursing. And a lot of people get those two mixed up. Cursing is when you speak ill over someone. You speak evil on them. You wish someone would die. You hope they get sick. You hope they burn in hell. That's cursing. And just like Harry Potter or whatever witchcraft, words have power. And the words you say, not only to other people, but you say to yourself, matter. You have to deal with both sides of you. One side of me cusses. Hello, Governor. This is Rakai Steed, Nuke from the Ville, and I'm here talking about Doctor Who, Season 7, Episode 13, Nightmare in Silver. At the end of the last episode, you saw Clara get fronted by them little badass kids that she watches, Angie and Artie. Now, I'm not gonna say them kids is bad. They just bad as hell. They just got on my nerves this whole episode. Why is it so hard to like these two children? They got very limited screen time at all this season since Clara's popped up on the scene. And now that they've been given lines, I just want to make it stop. I don't care about these kids. Get rid of them. Not like, that, none of that. I'm just saying, they need to go home, take a nap or something, play PlayStation. Hell, leave them alone. Anyway, the Doctor decides to take them on a trip to an intergalactic theme park. And the theme park is run by a little strange little man. I think his name is Webley. And his companion, his little partner, Porridge, he manages the main attraction, which is a chess match. But the problem with the chess match is it's run by Cyberman. The Doctor sees the Cyberman and freaks out. He's like, oh, hell no. And Porridge and Webley said, no, it's cool. We reprogrammed him. All he does is play chess. And the Doctor says, never. No, sir. Won't have it. You can't trust them. And what we find out is that this theme park was the site of a battle long ago, and the Cybermen lost like 1,000 years ago. And there's Cybermen all over this planet. And there's also that Anglican church soldiers. So we've seen them before. And they have a platoon stationed at this place. But this is the punishment platoon. So anywhere you had messed up, you get sent here for punishment. So the Doctor, he's not convinced that the Cybermen have been reprogrammed. So he goes to investigate. And of course, little kids do what they do. They get to exploring and doing dumb shit. And next thing you know, they're lost. They get kidnapped by the Cybermen. And the Cybermen start to, transform them into Cybermen. The Doctor says, oh, these two little badass kids, I'll go find them. And he finds them, but damn it, the Doctor gets captured by the Cybermen. Now the Cybermen, because he's like the smartest guy around anywhere, they start to transform him into a Cyberman. And they want to turn him into what they call the cyber planner. This is an upgrade of the Cyberman. So the doctor starts to be transformed and he gets hooked into the Cybermen's hive mind. And he calls himself Mr. Clever because, of course, what would the doctor's alter ego call himself? Mr. Clever. But he starts to fight back against himself. And he comes up with an arrangement between himself to play chess against himself. So the doctor versus Mr. Clever for control of the doctor's body. Long story short, the platoon says, oh my God, because these Cybermen are now, they are fixing themselves up and they ready to take over. And the platoon is like, you know what? We'll be heroes. Let's just blow up the planet, finish the Cybermen threat for good. And the doctor's like, under no circumstance are you to blow up this planet. We come to find out that the only one who could give authorization to stop the self-destruct bomb or whatever's on the planet is the Emperor. Come to find out that Porridge, the little person who was played by Warwick Davis, who you may know from Willow and other properties, is the Emperor. The doctor works it out so that he defeats Mr. Clever. Porridge calls in his spaceship to teleport him out. He makes a deal with the doctor to teleport the TARDIS away at the last minute, and the planet is destroyed. You know that I love my quotes. I do. And this particular quote, I'm not sure who it's attributed to, but it is, but there's another side of me that's just as strong. What I've been through has made me calm, but don't confuse that with being weak. The fierce part of me is just resting, not gone. And I like that because it does speak to duality. It does speak to the other side of you. In order for there to be light, there has to be darkness. In order for there to be good, there has to be evil. And, or not even necessarily evil, just bad. And really, most people, the problem is that they deny themselves. And I'm not saying, hey, I'm bad, I'm a roll with it, I'm just gonna be bad and do bad shit. No, but you have to acknowledge that even if you're not bad right now, that you're making a conscious effort to be good. That you acknowledge in your past or when the time arises that you have to be bad, that you could be bad. But you are making the conscious effort to be good, to see the light and see your way out of the darkness. One thing I'm thankful for is now my kids have not seen that other side of me. Like, I was raised in a type of culture. My father started me and my brother in martial arts when I was maybe 6. My brother was like 4. And so we've taken martial arts our entire lives. And we started out with Taekwondo, and I got to become a black belt very fast. And because I was a little bit older, I was fighting black belts who were much older than me. But I was talented, and my dad did not care. My dad was full on old school Cobra Kai. Sweep the leg, finish him. And my dad, we had a very toxic, rocky relationship, but it was the one place that he really took pride, and he pushed us, and I fell right into it, and I was disqualified from more tournaments than I can think of for side kick to the throat, front snap kick under the chin. Yeah, those are illegal. They're not allowed, and I got put out of a lot of tournaments. I mean, I won a lot. But I got put out of a lot too. You know, when you start talking about the duality in man, it refers to the idea that people have conflicting emotions, behaviors, desires. It talks about people having good and evil within them. And I've already alluded a little bit to light and darkness, good, evil, good/bad. But in order to be one thing, you have to recognize, you have to acknowledge the other thing. Two things can be possible. You can be a person who is kind and generous, but also a person who angers and can be selfish. These two things can coexist. The problem with a lot of people is that we are so busy not only trying to prove to others, but to ourselves that we're only one thing and that we could never be the other. And it's not that you're just lying to other people. You're lying to yourself. I thought this was a weird episode and how it was presented. It was written by Neil Gaiman. To show the other side of Doctor Who. Of course, he calls himself Mr. Clever. But because of that, his other side is the clever side. So, and you find that the clever side was not even the one that's inherently evil. Most of us think that our other side is one that is just straight bad. His other side was more like Loki, mischievous, and in doing bad things, sort of heartless, didn't really care, what we would call a sociopath. Have you reconciled with your other side? Do you know your other side, or is that part of the denial that you keep about who you really are? In order to live a life of light and good, it's not that you completely turn your back on bad and darkness. If you embrace it, you have to understand that all you're doing is acknowledging it, that it was there, and it is a part of you. And God forbid, like something happened to your family, you might have to tap back into that. That scares me more than I can think about. But I choose to live a life of righteousness and good and light. What do you choose? Who runs your life? This is Rakai Steed, Nuke from the Ville. Make sure to like, comment, share. And if you have not subscribed, I'm not sure what you're doing, but hit the button and subscribe as soon as possible. Remember that whatever you do, it's got to be about this, but even more importantly, it's got to be about this.